Mob lynching is nothing but murder committed by the crowd. What is mob lynching and why it happens? Is it a crime? Let's find out. When a group of people so agitated with anger that they become a mob and hunt down the suspected person, and without offering any chance for the person to speak or any fair trial, ruthlessly murder that person, taking law into their own hands. This is mob lynching. There is no investigation, no trial, no evidence, only suspicion fueled with anger. Coming to the legal side, earlier in India, there was no exclusive section allocated for the punishment of mob lynching. Usually, the police slap on sections such as rioting, unlawful assembly, and murder. Usually, when law is not specific, it leaves an open ground for interpretation, and it becomes such a tool that an advocate uses it, whether prosecution or defense, to turn it into their own favor via their arguments. This creates a huge problem. As for the interpretation of law by the judge, as now it's up to his discretion to pick which side sounds more convincing to him. Let's not forget, judge is an interpreter of law. What happens in situations like this is the gravity of the crime is lost as the responsibility itself is diluted as there is a lack of provision for it. And after the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita was implemented, an exclusive section for punishment of such offence was given. Now this is provided under section 103 subsection 2 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. As you can see here, mob justice is no justice. Even if the person who suspected to have committed the crime is actually the perpetrator, still one cannot take law into their own hands and become enforcer of justice. He has no right to commit such an act. Every person has a right to fair trial, no matter whoever it might be. Let's not forget the legal maxim, audi alteram paratum. Without hearing the other side, one cannot pass the judgment or a decision. So everyone must get a chance to represent themselves. The moment the crowd becomes judge, jury, and executor, the institution of democracy itself fails. Everyone believes in the notion, justice delayed is justice denied. It is true, indeed. Yes, there might be a failure of the institutions such as judiciary or the investigative agency such as the police to uphold their end of the duty and work as they're meant to supposed to work. But that does not give excuse for any crowd to take up law into their own hands, because if there is no investigation, if there is no evidence, if there is no trial, and even if there is not a single chance for the accused or suspected person to talk about his side, then that's nothing less than a crime. For better understanding, let's take an example. Let's say you're part of a protest, a peaceful protest or a crowd, and a group of people are moving together. Suddenly, violence breaks out and the crowd is beating a person mercilessly. It may be because he made some anti-religion statement or he had made any offensive statement which agitated the peaceful crowd over there, which has now turned into a violent crowd. You're part of this particular mob. You are part of the people who are surrounding such a scene of offense being committed over there. You're just being a spectator. You did not do anything such as throwing a stone or even being an active participant of such mob lynching. Can you be held criminally liable? Yeah, there are chances where you can be held criminally liable, as you showed a strength of solidarity by being part of such violent mob. You should have dissociated yourself with such mob. Standing there, watching the show and being part of that whole mob, you are perhaps preventing the means of escape too. It can be interpreted that way too. So you will still be believed to be a part of that mob with common object or common intention. So it's better when a mob turns violent that you dissociate yourself from it. Or if not, if you can help, do it. Lastly, but not the least, in a world filled with virus called ignorance. Know the law, stay protected.